Hey, kia ora, Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Colorado Springs in Colorado. How is your day going? Are you having a super fantastic, sparkling, fun Friday? I know I am. Zeffy is too. Zeffy has a new toy. Well, it's not a new toy, actually. Our friend Debbie, who's become Zeffy's very best friend right now, brought over a knuckle, a bone knuckle for her to chew on. And she sat down a few minutes ago to chew on it. Now she's running up and down the RV with it in her mouth, not sure what to do with it, but she was very, very gentle. And I don't know why I gave it to her while my phone was doing an update, because then I couldn't videotape her looking at it, because she sort of like started licking it a little bit, then very tentatively nipping at it, and now she's got it in her mouth, running up and down the RV with, yep, here she is. Hang on. What you got, Zeph? What you got? Nope, you're on the wrong angle for me to even show them. I think she's looking for somewhere to hide it, because she's now under the table by my feet. You hiding? Crazy dog. She really doesn't know what to do with it now. She's been chomping on it for about 10 minutes, and now she doesn't know what to do with it. We will help her figure that out shortly. So how has your day been? How was your mindset? Because remember, the mindset was, what was our mindset today? Learning. What did you learn new today? Well, I found some new people on a family tree and had to use some different techniques to find them. So I did learn something new, because I had to learn some new techniques to find them, because some of them were a little hard to find. What about your business? Did you finish off those small projects, those little small tasks, so you now have a clean desk for the weekend? I still have a couple of those left to do. And on the fun side, what excuses did you come up with? Haven't seen anybody post any funny excuses yet. What are some of your most creative excuses for getting out of work or out of doing something? I swear, this dog's going to drive me nuts. What are you doing, Zeph? Zeffy? She is at a total loss. She is literally pacing the earth. Oh, no, hang on. We're going to bury it in the corner. Hang on. She's going to bury it behind the pillow now. Oops, it's gone behind my butt. What you doing, Zeffy? Yep. We're just going to sit it beside Mum. Yep, it's behind me now. She's buried it behind me. Now she figured out what to do with it. She's happy now, because now she can go have a drink of water. She doesn't like leaving her toys unattended, especially if they're food related. So what were some of the excuses you came up with today for getting out of work? How creative did you get with your excuses today? Like I said earlier, I got a lot of genealogy research done. Went back 4 generations. Did have some challenges in this tree of finding people, because even though I had the death dates, I couldn't verify the death dates, so I had to use some different techniques to find them. But that doesn't have anything to do with our question of the day, but it was really good. It was fun. We found them. We got the death dates verified from the information that I've been given, so that was awesome. I love it when that happens. But Peter asked us today how you can find out the immigration records from your ancestors when they came into the country around the 1900s, and he actually told me that they came over from Europe. And I said, well, there's several places you can go. You can go to Ellis Island and do the research there, but you can actually research moved all the shipping logs online from Ellis Island from like 1820 to 1957. And so you can search the passenger lists. And if you go to, what was that website? I did bring it up. statueofliberty.org, click on the Ellis Island link that's there, and then under Ellis Island you will find the Family History Center, and from there you can do a passenger search. Now, this is where it's going to get tricky. So that's one place you can go. Hang on, let me finish this first. So that's one place you can go. Another place that you can go is the National Archives, which is archives.gov. and they have shipping records there as well, so you can search the immigration records there. Also, if you have FamilySearch.org is another place that you can go where they have US immigration records online too. So those are 3 places that you can go to. Now, when you're looking at the immigration records, also remember, if you have the original name of the family, the original last name, look for different variations on spelling. Also look for the fact that they may have Americanized their name coming into the country. The officials at Ellis Island did not change people's names. It was the people coming into the country that changed their names. Some made it more of an American spelling. Some wanted to have an English word instead of whatever country they came from. And some of them were illiterate, so did not know how to spell their name. So it was up to the official at immigration there to try and figure it out as they came in. And on the records, it does have the ship that they were on, the date the ship docked, and who was traveling with them. So if you have a look, they'll have like families grouped together, so you can see who came over and what kids came over with them. And if you look before or behind that same record, you may find siblings that have come over, especially if it's from the wife's side where they have a different last name. You may find the siblings there as well. So those are some places that you can go and check out for passenger lists and see people that came to the country. But remember, look for spelling variations, look for names being Americanized or shortened. Like I told you the other day, my husband's family was originally a Brahmsovich, which came from the Ukraine and Lithuania. When they came into America in 1902, I think it was 1902, when they came into America, as they came in, they shortened it down to Abrams. And then when my father-in-law was 5 years old, his dad changed it from Abrams to Brahms. So, there was that progression. So just remember that they may have changed their name. It may be misspelt because the official doesn't know how to spell their name, because the people themselves don't know how to spell because they couldn't spell. So check for different variations on spelling, check for names being shortened, check for names being Americanized. If you know first names of people as well, you can look for those, and if you know who the people were that came in on the ship with that family, so if it was mum, dad, and the kids, also look for the family groups that were on that. If you've got a sailing date or a time frame, you can go through the passenger lists and try and find the first names of those people that will match up, and then you'll get the last name. And is it anything like the name that you know they should be at? Has it been shortened? Has it been Americanized? It does take a lot to look through those records to find those sorts of things as well. So have some time set aside. Make sure you give yourself some breaks, because sometimes when you start looking for the same information, you end up going over the same places. And that's why it's good too to have a research form, and in there you put what you're researching at the top, and you put in there the places that you've already checked, the date you checked them, because records are always coming online. And like for right now, up to 1940 census is out. I believe they're going to be bringing the 1950 census out this year for the US, because I know they bring them out every 70 years. They won't bring anything prior to the 70 years. So the 1940 census is definitely out, and this year, if they haven't already, they will be releasing the 1950 census. Unless COVID's upset that one, which means they won't get it till next year. Or maybe it's next year. Maybe it's 72 years. Yeah, maybe it's 72 years. I think I'm trying to remember when the 1940 census came out, when they released that, because I found my mother-in-law on it and I printed off the page and took it to show her, and she's looking down the list and goes, "That's Daddy. That's me. That's my sister." She was astounded. She goes, "What is this?" I said, "It's from the 1940 census, from when you were in Louisiana." And she's like, "Oh." So she was quite fascinated to find out that, I'm trying to remember if that was, it wasn't the year we arrived in LA, which was 2010, so must have been like 2012. So maybe it's 2022 they're bringing out the 1950 census. I'm going to have to research that one. But anyway, when you're looking on the passenger list, remember to take breaks, because sometimes the brain gets a little addled when you're doing the research. But keep yourself a research list, and the research list has what you're actually looking for, and then the different places you've tried. So what's the website you've tried? What's the different spellings that you've tried? Come up with the different variations on spellings of names as well, because you never know. Like my mother-in-law's maiden name, I've got like 9 different spellings for the one word, and every time I go researching, I've got it. There's a little box on some sites that you can check that's called SoundX, which means that they will look for different variations of that spelling as well. If you want an exact match, you may not get it, because especially if it is a non-English word like Smith, you're usually pretty okay with S-M-I-T-H. Sometimes you've got S-M-Y-T-H. One of my great grandfather, there's like 6 different variations on his name, because his last name was Brazier, and it's either we've always spelled it B-R-A-Z-Z-I-E-R, but there's places where the Z's been changed to an S, there's places where the I's are a Y, there's places where the I or the Y is before the Z or the S, or after the Z or the S. So the B-R-A and the E-R on the end are the same. It's just those 2 letters and those 2 letters, the S and the I, or is it an S and I, or is it a Z and an I? Is it a Z and a Y, or a S and a Y? Is it an I-Z, or a Y-Z, or an S, or an I-S, or a Y-S? So you got to think of the different variations in spelling. Like if there is an S in there, could it possibly have been spelt with a Z? Or if it was supposed to be a Z, has it been spelt with an S? If there's an I, has it been spelt with a Y instead? So look for different variations on that. But if you get the little sound box, the Sound X, it's Sound EX, if you get that, check that box, because it could mean it will help you look for different spelling variations as well. But come up with a list of different spelling variations for the last name that could have been around, in the 1800s. Most of this stuff is around like the 1800s, the late 1800s through to the early 1900s. Excuse me. So look for those variations when you're looking on passenger lists as well. On some passenger lists, not all of them, you type like the first 3 or 4 letters of the last name, and it will pull up everything that starts with those 3 or 4 letters. Sometimes you get that, so you're able to look that way. It depends which site you're on to do that, and I can't remember which one does what. So keep a list, keep the research list of what you're researching, when you researched, the date you researched it, what website it was, if it was a website. There's also libraries that you can go to and have a look. I'm not sure if the libraries are open though. Don't know if they're open or not. So I know the family library in Utah, in Salt Lake City, there is closed. And there's talk of when they open it, only opening it to professionals by appointment for a set time that they're allowed to be in there. And they're going to be, and so that way they can control the number of people that are actually in there as well. But anyway, so Peter, I hope that answers your question. Try Ellis Island. You can even go to ellisisland.org, and it will take you to the right page on Statue of Liberty. And then when you're on that page, scroll down to where it says Family History Center, and then click on that, and then you can visit the passenger lists from there. There's also places like Ancestry.com, FindMyPast.com, I think MyHeritage might have it as well, but there's also FamilySearch.org, which is all the files that the family library in Salt Lake City has online. Where else did I say? And the National Archives, so archives.gov. Those are some of the places that you can go to check for the passenger lists, and it will list the ship, the date it arrived, where it came from, and depending which ship it was and what time, it will also turn around and give you the ages of the people that were traveling, where they originated from, and usually they put them in family groups. So if it's a family traveling together, the whole family will be together. And remember to look above or below, because there could be another family that's traveling with them that is related. Like it could be brothers that are traveling with their families, and the 2 brothers are side by side. So check that stuff as well. So I hope that helps you. And let's see, we're going to go, my dog is going up and down she's pacing again. What's the matter? Oh, she actually jumped up behind me at some point and got the bone, and I didn't even notice. Now she's running up and down with it in her mouth again, looking for another place to hide it. Thank you, Debbie, for the fun of that my dog is having tonight. But anyway, have a super fantastic, sparkling, fun Friday. I'm off to, I've got a call coming up in about, I think I'm late. I gotta go. Have a super fantastic, sparkling evening, and we'll catch you guys later. He konera.